Our client is set to make 35 grand worth of profit off the back end of this one property behind me. He's going to flip it. This property's in South Wales. The client's in London. He's used our bespoke sourcing service, and I'm going to show you how he's approached this, how we've got in contact with him, and how we're going to literally provide a full end-to-end service to do all the work for him. He doesn't have to come to South Wales, and he'll still make the profit on the back end of it. So let me run through how we've approached this, how we're going to sort the legals for him, the lending. We've just today sorted out the builders so that we've got a builder's quote for him today. So what we've actually done with this property is we have got the buyer via WhatsApp, talking to them, communicating to them. We've got into legals as of last Friday. We're going to present them the quote today. So obviously this is Tuesday, the following week now. We'll get the builders quoting with them today. Show them the quote, make sure they're all happy. We'll present them 3 specs. So standard spec as a flip. We want high spec, which is going to be, as a flip, you want to make sure it's high spec. We've also got a large basement in the property. So we're going to make sure that if we go for the high spec, it's going to be an extra 15k on the renovation, but the end value, the increased value of the property is going to be much much higher. So your profit margins will be much higher as well. But it's a case of making sure they have the capital to do so, because they do want a simple project, because it's the first project with us. So bit of a quick run through, but you can see the property. We're obviously with the builder's just outside the garden. We're walking through the project with them. So here we are going out around with the estate agent and my builder slash project manager. So the beauty of this is we've approached this with one target of X refurbishment and X end value, because obviously the refurbishment you're going to do is going to give you an outline of the end value that you can expect that someone's going to buy it on the back end. So we can go through this whole project, making sure there's no, the roof's okay, internals are okay, externals are okay, structurally making sure it's okay and sound, so that the main things we've got to focus then are the internals, cosmetics, much easier fixes. So you can see it's very dated throughout. Structurally, it's very, very sound, and there's very little, if any, water issues there, so we're really happy with that. So a lot of it is just new kitchen, new bathroom, cosmetics throughout. How can we fully modernize and update the property? This goes for the front of the property as well. So how can we freshen this up, tidy this up? So if a buyer's coming here, there's curb appeal, and that's going to help a lot. And then you've got the same for the rear of the property. Tidy up the garden, low maintenance garden, easy to freshen up and easy to make it a flippable, appealing property for someone to come here and want to buy, to make it a lifetime, a lifelong home, let's say. So we're really happy with this one, and we're very confident that the buyer will be as well. You can also add a driveway. That's one of the main things we're looking at doing as well. So having off-road parking can add so much value to a property, so we always look to do so if we can for a flip. So the property is being purchased for £160,000, 160. The refurb we're expected to come in at around about 45 grand. And then the actual refinance value, the actual value of the property once renovated, we're expecting to be honest with you, near 265 top end. So it's a good bit of if he wanted to buy cash, there's a really sizable chunk of profit there. He's using bridging to purchase which obviously we're sorting out with the broker on the back end, in the background. Sorry, he's sorting out the bridging, which will probably take about 15k of profit off the back end, off the project, but it's still very profitable. We always have a bit of a mindset of, if a flip works with bridging included, it's a fantastic flip, because bridging is very expensive. Bridging finance now is very expensive. And if it still profits while you're doing bridging with it involved included, it's very profitable as a whole project. So we're very happy with it. The location's fantastic as well. So it's a very affluent area. You can see the sort of houses down here. These are sort of houses where they're much bigger. It's a nice area. It's close to town. And importantly, really, really importantly, the sort of people that live here, they're on the higher end of the area. So that means that they're not going to be looking to rent the property. They're going to look to buy properties. Hence why it's more of a flip area, because you get more expensive properties, which means that the type of people that are looking to buy, the people that live in that area, will be looking to buy properties and not rent them. So it's more of a flipping area. There's high profit margins, because obviously people who want to rent tend to have lower incomes, whereas the people in these sort of areas, locations, tend to want to buy because they've got better jobs, better incomes, and it just helps to, well, just puts one and one together really. So this is really important actually to notice on. If you're doing a simple buy to let, you wouldn't invest here. You could, but it wouldn't be the greatest return on your investment. Whereas with our clients, um, if you're doing a buy and hold property, you wouldn't do it. But if you're doing a flip, you would. So that gives you a bit of education on location as well. It's really important to factor in your location when you're doing these sort of projects. So how did this project come about? So what we've done is I've got a friend who lives in London who knew his neighbour, a friend of his, wanted to get into property, has been wanting to do for years. They've been on the fence about it for years. They had the capital, they had about 200k sat there in the bank, but they didn't know how to, and also they didn't know who to trust in order to kind of almost give them a bit of a nudge to do so. So what we've done is my friend's got us in contact with this person. We've sat down with them. We've had a conversation to say, look, what we can do to help you build your portfolio or continuously flip projects. This is what we can do for you. This was about 3 weeks ago ish. It's now obviously July 2024, so here we are. He's now taken a step where we've outlined our bespoke service for him, and now he's taken a step to our main service of building portfolios. What he's decided to do is he's got a starting capital and he wants to flip and increase the capital that way, which is the opposite to what we do, but also a smart way of using it. So he's got a starting capital of, for example, 130k. Every property is going to make 35 grand worth of profit on the back end of it, hypothetically, and he can just keep topping up, because he wants to go on to much bigger projects after this. This is quite a juicy project as it is, and he wants to build it that way. So we've got him onboarded, and he's really happy so far. What we've done then is immediately after getting him onboarded, we've connected him with our mortgage broker to then see, okay, you have this capital, what size of project can we help you with? What's the maximum cap? Because if we target just below that, like for example, this one required his whole 130k capital, whereas we were looking at smaller projects that required about 80k, but there's smaller profit in it. But long story short, he's really happy with this project. He wants to crack on. It fits within the capital, and it's given a good, decent profit on the back end of the project. That's fantastic. So we've connected them with a good broker. We recommend with every client using our solicitors that we work with basically every day, every week, that we talk to regularly. Good communication, good updates, and we can help him best that way. Yeah, and that's where we stand now. So we've sorted out his lending for him. We've sorted out his listing so that he doesn't have to deal with any of that. Today, I'll show you the walkthrough with the builder, because we're sorting out the quotes for him, which I can show with him today. So we can outline the different options: high spec, low spec, medium spec, etc., and different ways to approach this property. And it's doing all the work in the background so that the person can be in London, doesn't have to move all the way over to South Wales or even be here. I'm going to probably drive to London to say hello to him some point in the near future anyway, say hello to him. As you guys can tell, it's the next day now, but obviously we've changed top and everything. But I just want to point out one thing with this project that is really, really important, and that's the fact that the buyer's been on the fence for this project or for property for a while, for a couple of years, and they've only since connected with us, they've taken the leap, taken the step, taken the jump to get into property. But I do know a lot of people who talk about getting into property, don't know how to, don't know where to start, don't know where to begin, don't know who to trust to get involved in these sort of projects. So it's really important for us, or for them, that they connect with people like us, where we can sit down and have a conversation with them to get a feel for their situation, to see how we can help them best, because we do this day in, day out, every single week. Either build portfolios in South Wales for people, or do bigger flips to increase people's capital. Because if you're starting with like this client now is starting with a capital of £130,000, and they're going to make 35k off the back end of every project, you can see how after every 9 months of every project, their capital is going to keep increasing. So if you want to get involved in deals like this, or get connected with us to have a call, comment yes below and we'll reach out to you.